everyone. My name is Jordan. We're here with Bree.
Hi, I'm Bree. I'm a political science major currently at Texas State University, and I am pursuing my master's degree.
Yes, so we are Texas State University students, and we're currently going to talk about the inauguration. Opening remarks start at 11:30 a.m., so we're really close. How are you feeling about Donald Trump becoming president?
I think it's a very interesting time in history for him to become president, just for what our social issues that are going on. And I think a lot of people are excited and they're curious about the things that he's going to do when he is in office.
Today we're going to be talking to you guys kind of about what his first 100 days in office is going to look like, because that's really important. Actually, the first 100 days in history has been kind of an important time to set the tone for someone's presidency. So what Donald Trump has done, like every other president, he's come up with a contract to the American voter of kind of like his first 100 days.
I think that Donald Trump is very interesting in that he's going the route with cleaning up Washington. I think that is something that's very important just because of things like corruption that we might experience, or cronyism, which is you're placing people in power that are friends or close relatives. It's interesting that he's facing those same accusations of cronyism, and this is something he wants to say, clean up Washington. The 5-year ban, so if you are in Congress and you want to pursue any activities outside of Congress that are still in the political arena, then he wants to have a 5-year ban on you doing so. I think that's a very good route to go. I think it is going to be a little bit hard, since any legislation that he does put forward, it has to be approved by Senate and Congress. So the same people that he wants to kind of control are the same people that can say, yes, we want to do this, or yes, we don't want to do this.
Some of the first things he says is he wants to begin with restoring honesty and accountability and bringing change to Washington. So when I first read this, I was questioning it a little bit, because he goes and says honesty and accountability. And we know from Donald Trump's just running that he hasn't had the best running with honesty and things like that.
I think one thing with that, when you make a mistake in a high office, not making sure that it's something that you can, of course, be thrown out of office for, you are honest about it, you own up to it to the American people. I think it's interesting in his context, because he's not necessarily the only politician that has had problems with honesty and accountability. So I think he's not unique in that way. Now, that being said, he has had some honesty and accountability problems about matters such as national security. So we'll have to see how that plays out in his first 100 days of office.
Okay, do you feel that his deciding not to retaliate to Russia was odd, or do you think that was not him being accountable for what maybe would happen?
I think the whole Russia and Putin situation, and it's very murky, and just with our history of dealing with Russia, we don't want to push it to where there's a circumstance with any sort of military retaliation could come up and they were involved in an international incident. Yeah. So I think maybe he could have talked more about that publicly, but we never know what they're talking about in private to one another.
Right.
So that's, again, something we'll have to watch and see how it plays out.
Okay, so let's just continue kind of talking on his 100-day plan. So we're going to go into the actions to protect American workers. So he says he'll announce our withdrawal from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and he talks about a lot of these things dealing with international trade and things like that. So I'm kind of curious on how he plans to change all of these things that have been set for America for so long. I'm just curious on what you think his actions will be pertaining to that and bringing work back into America.
So what we've seen so far is he's kind of gone a route, threatening way. If you do this, like if you ship a kind of company to Mexico, then you'll face sort of sanctions and stuff.
Yeah.
We have seen that it seems like it's kind of been working, but we have to be careful about threatening issues and sanctions, especially seeing if we even have the power to do that with companies and stuff. I think, again, that's something we'll have to see how it plays out, but I think it might have been an excellent opportunity, since he is a businessman and he's used to being in boardrooms and negotiating things. But I also think we do have to be careful about that, because America, we owe money to places like China, to other countries, so we don't want to go and say, you know, hey, pay us back this when we owe money ourselves.
Right. Just with some of the things he's done so far, we could see that he, you know, has a kind of maybe a harder time talking to people. He's a good negotiator. We've already gone through that. He's a good businessman, but does he have the capacity to talk to foreign affairs and things like that? We see that Obama in his 100-day plan, he was more, he was ready to work with foreign countries and people, you know, overseas, whereas he is trying to withdraw from all of that. He doesn't want to deal with people overseas. Do you think that's a good thing, that he doesn't want to deal with too much of that?
I mean, I think with what I'm seeing, just being an American citizen, there is a desire for us to not be as involved with a lot of things overseas, or with a lot of foreign policies. People are way more concerned with what is the state of the job in the United States, what is the state of graduating from college, what is the state of taxes. So, I mean, I think he's just reflecting we just don't want to be involved with foreign affairs as much as we typically have. As far as him being involved with foreign representatives, I mean, he has had a lot of people come and visit just with him being announced that he was running for office. Okay. He's had people from Britain, he's had Putin. Whether those conversations were bad or good for us, but there have been a lot of foreign ministers and representatives come and talk to him.
Okay.
So, and I think, you know, he's kind of rough, put nicely, he's rough around the edges in a lot of things, but I think he hired people that can help him, whether that be a press secretary, whether that be a assistant that can kind of help him be more of a better talker, more of a better politician when he's talking to important people.
Right. And I think it's kind of important to watch more of his policies, because I can see where he's beneficial in the way that he has a voice and he's not scared to use it.
Yeah.
He will work well in getting some of the things he wants to get done. So I worry though, he has a great way, okay, he has ways of talking to people overseas, if he has ways of dealing with people, why does he seem to not be able to talk to people in the United States very well? Just as a president, I think some of the things that he does publicly, like how he was arguing with the reporter, I feel like that's very weird. How you're a president, and I feel like you're supposed to be looked at as someone who is good in public, who can represent us well, and you argue with your own people in your own state. So how are you going to be able to talk to these people that are not like you, you know? So that's just kind of a worry that I have as a person just watching, you know? But I guess we'll just have to see.
We'll have to see, yeah.
A lot of this is going to be left up to just us, the 100 days.
And I think also something on that note that's very important, you have to be mindful about what media that you're listening to.
Right.
Because I think the media plays a large role in how we think people are. And I think you have to be independent. Look at independent, sources like the NPRs, anything like that. Because media definitely has, with networks, their own liberal leaning, conservative leaning. And I think you have to be that person, well, CNN is saying this one day, Fox is saying this one day. Let me kind of compare and contrast how they're interpreting what he's saying, and kind of make your own independent decisions from there. There's this concept that we study particularly, it's called framing. And so news media, they'll take this particular story and they'll see, okay, we're gonna take what we know happened and we're gonna choose and pick different words to describe it. And that impacts how the headlines are gonna read, and that impacts, how we tease for 5 o'clock, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to go and examine the different sources, and even go on weblogs online and see what they're saying about the same things, and kind of just go forth from there.
Right. Think for yourself.
Yeah.
Interpret for yourself is the most important thing you can do. Don't try to listen to everything that's around you.
Yeah.
And break it down and learn for yourself.
Do your own research.
Pay attention in political science. That'd be great. Actual Inauguration Day, it's like gonna have a very big impact.
Yeah.
We can see that now. We have 100 days to look forward after he's inaugurated. So we're just going to have to just pay attention and see how things go and put our foot in. If we feel like there's something, go put your voice somewhere. Go do something. But as actual Inauguration Day comes, I've read articles about there being loads of security, there being protests. That's just day one.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see how it's going to go after that.
I think, if anything, if you don't agree with him, you should be even more motivated to actually watch the inauguration, actually study what he's doing, instead of just kind of washing your hands off from the situation. Because I've definitely heard talk of a lot of people that I know that don't even want to know what's happening.
Don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Didn't vote.
Yeah, didn't vote. So I think you just have to, just bear through it. Just watch it and, know that you have the power to vote.
Right.
You have the power to vote the congressmen that are going to be working hands-on with him and passing these laws. So just, be present.
Okay, so that's it for our breakdown today. We're looking forward to this inauguration day on Friday. Starts at 11:30 well, opening remarks start at 11:30 a.m. Of course, there's things before that and after. There's all of these great grand balls that they're going to be having, dances and things, so we'll be able to tune into all of that. We just hope that you guys are putting your voices in and watching and making sure that you are connected with the politics and things going on around you. So thanks for watching. We hope that you continue to tune in. Thank you so much, Bree.
No problem. Thank you.
Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is a very important thing for us to talk about. How many of y'all are going to actually tune into inauguration? Comment below, let us know how you feel, what your opinions are. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, any policies that you want us to go over, let us know those things. I'm going to have a link to what we were actually reading in this video, so it's going to be his contract with the American voter if you want to go take a look for yourself. Don't be afraid to put your voice in. This is our America. This is us, talking to our people. So definitely be in tune. Stay tuned with us. We're going to be talking about so many different things. Thanks again for watching.